Hello and welcome. My name is Tom Lelyo. I am your ultimate jet guide. And if you're finding this video, it's because you are interested in becoming a private jet broker selling private jets. And so I want to talk to you today about selling private jets as a JetLife Aero affiliate. As I mentioned, my name is Tom Lelyo. I'm the president of JetLife Aero. And I went from being a youth pastor living paycheck to paycheck with my wife and 5 children to selling $1 million jets in the span of a few years. And it was kind of an interesting story. I got a master's degree in theology, and I found myself as a youth pastor for over a decade. And then following that, I saw an ad online for high luxury sales. I didn't even know it was aviation at the time. And when I went into my interview, they were willing to take a shot on someone who had no aviation experience whatsoever. Fast forward, and the last 2 years I was with my agency, I sold over 20 jets each year, bringing in over $500,000 of take home commission to my family. I don't aspire to be the greatest private jet salesman in the world. My passion now is to invite individuals like yourself into the world of private aviation as a means to change your life and the lives of others. And I feel like my story is not unique. Perhaps you're living paycheck to paycheck right now, or maybe you're just not feeling fulfilled and you're looking for a new adventure. Perhaps you have aspirations of doing something great and building something great, but you need the right vehicle. I believe that becoming a jet broker should be easy, and building a team of the top jet brokers in the world will improve the overall industry. And that's what I'm inviting you to today. Now, who is Jet Life Aero not for? This is not the right framework for someone who wants to become the best, number one top jet broker in the world. It's all about you. You've got skills that kill, and you just want to be number one. Now, I'm not shaming anybody who wants that, but this is probably not going to be the best framework for an individual who just wants to be numero uno. It's also not the right fit for someone who just wants to get rich. Similar to number one, you just want to be the top, you just want to make a lot of money, and you'll do whatever it takes to quote unquote get rich. This is not the right framework for you. And if you're someone that doesn't want to help others, maybe you're not in a position to help others, or that's just not part of, your makeup, you're just kind of in it for yourself and you're really good at mastering a skill and applying it to your own life, but you're not very good at translating those skills to others, or it doesn't fulfill you to watch others grow. Again, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but if you don't want to help others and build others up, this is probably not going to be the right fit for you. Over the past 2 years, I was the number one sales agent at one of the top brokerages in the world, selling more than 20 jets a year, as I mentioned earlier. Now, I want to invite you into the private aviation world. And there's typically two ways that you can become a private jet broker. The first way is to join an agency. Well, the pros of joining an agency is you can establish a team, a business, and they have experience. You're walking into an established framework. Also, when you join an agency, they will have training. And depending on the agency, that could be really, really good or not so good. You also get a network of individuals that you can work with, whether that's a network of pilots you can call on, a network of mechanics you can call on, a network of other brokers you can call on. Their established network does make a difference. Also, you have the benefit of office space. You have the benefit of their overhead. They're paying for the software that you're using. They're paying for the office and the computers that you're using. It's all done for you. Then you also have marketing leverage. That is, an agency will have market spend that they can invest in their advertising. And last but not least, joining an agency allows you to take advantage of their documents and their resources that they have already created. Of course, the cons to joining an agency is you're tied to an office. Sorry, like you got to move somewhere. So if you're based in Florida and the agency you want to work with is based in New York, you got to move. Also, there's a limited income potential. And what I mean by that is there's typically a fixed split when it comes to commissions. It's 60-40 for your entire career. Become a great salesman in that framework of 60-40 because it's never going to go up. There's also a capped income potential because you're always going to be trading sales for dollars. Like you don't get any dollars if you don't make any sales. So you're capped by your own bandwidth. Also, you're tied to the agency's brand and reputation. Maybe the agency doesn't have an interest in different marketing. Maybe the agency doesn't have an interest in creating a brand identity. Maybe the agency doesn't have a very good reputation in the marketplace, and you find out too late. And also, the cons of joining an agency is you're stuck with your coworkers. And I got lucky where I was working. I loved my coworkers, but not everybody is that lucky, and you're kind of stuck with the team that the manager and the bosses create. So, what's another way to become a private jet broker? Well, you could also start out on your own. The pros, of course, is you can work from anywhere. You have 100% split minus your expenses. You have uncapped income potential. You can build your own brand and your reputation. It's all in your hands, under your control. And you can build your own team and surround yourself with like-minded individuals. The cons, of course, is you got to start from scratch. There's no training, there's no support, there's no network. You have to go find that and build that on your own. Along those lines, all of the overhead is going to be on you. You have to pay all those expenses. And still, you're limited because you're trading your sales for dollars. But what if there was a better way? So you really have the best of both worlds. And this is the invitation to JetLife Aero. Become a JetLife Aero affiliate, and this all is a part of the package: training and support and building your own brand. But let's talk about what you're all here for. How do I get paid? What is the commission breakdown? It's a very simple philosophy. The more jets you sell, the more money you're going to make. And so when you take a look at the commission schedule, it starts like most brokerages start with a 60-40 split. That's 60% to JetLife Aero, 40% to the affiliate. But wait, what does up to 10K mean? That means once the affiliate has gotten $10,000 in commissions, your commission split is going to change. You'll get 55% to JetLife Aero and 45% to the affiliate as your sales go between 10,000 and 50,000 take home. From there, we go to a 50-50 split. And then once you break the $100,000 cap, so once you've taken home $100,000, all your sales from there will be at an 80-20 split to you. The more jets that you sell, the more money you make. You are rewarded for selling more jets. And here's what I was, kind of concerned with in other places. In most other agencies, there's no cap to how much the agency can make off the agents. So at one point, I was making my agency over $1 million. And I took a look back and I said, well, wow, like they definitely deserve to make money, but did it really cost them $1 million for me to be a part of the brokerage? And I would argue maybe it didn't. And so at JetLife Aero, once you make $100,000, the company has roughly made $100,000. And so now you should have the lion's share. Above that, you should get 80% of the sales. Now, this will reset based on your sign up date. So you have 12 months to do this. And then once you reach the $100,000 level, the following year, you'll start at a higher commission rate. So if you're in your first year, you sell over $100,000, the next calendar year, you'll come up and you'll start at the 55-45 split. Do it again for a second year, and then you'll start at the 50-50 split and kind of go on from there. But this is the part that I'm really excited about. Stop trading sales for dollars. Your bandwidth as an individual is limited. So let's talk about building a team and growing wealth. Now, this by no means is required. This is an add-on. This is for those individuals that are self-starters, but also after they start something, they want to share it with other people. And so let's talk about how this works. So the commission schedule that we already looked at, there's a percentage that goes to JetLife Aero. In the beginning, it's a 60%, then it goes down to 55 to 50 to 20%. So of that money that's going to JetLife Aero, we're going to take half of that and give it away to your team. So let's do a visual. So let's say Steve starts at JetLife Aero. He starts with a 60-40 split. Maybe he's working his way up to the 80-20 split. And in the meantime, he has a team that he wants to build. Because remember, he's building his own brand as well if he wants. So if he's finding other like-minded individuals that want to sell private jets and learn to become professionals, let's say he finds 3 other people that want to train under Steve. Great. Well, Clint, Bruce, and Tony, when they start selling, they're going to get a 60-40 split for themselves of whatever their commission is. And then of the 60% that went to JetLife, we're going to take half of that, AKA, and give 25% to Steve. Well, then let's say Clint from Steve's team brings in Nat and Kate. Well, then there's a 60-40 split for Nat and Kate when they do it. And then whenever they make a sale, 15% is going to go to Steve and 25% is going to go to Clint. Now, let's say Nat brings in Nick, 60-40 split. Let's say there's a $1 million sale at 6%. Nick is going to make $24,000 because it's a $60,000 commission, right? So Nick's going to make $24,000. JetLife Arrow is going to make $36,000. That's the 60-40 split. Of that $36,000, up to 50% will go to the team. So in this scenario, since Nat is closest to Nick, she'll get $9,000. And since Clint sponsored Nat, he'll get $5,400 based on Nick's sale. And then since Steve sponsored Clint, he'll get $3,600. So now the JetLife net revenue is only $18,000 from Nick's sale. And when you look at how much money is paid out to the affiliates, that's Nick plus Nat plus Clint plus Steve, this entire team of 4 people, they're getting up to $42,000. And so we want to focus on building a team to grow wealth. So Steve should be, everyone should be going for the 80-20 split. And that's probably what most of you are here for, that, like, hey, I want to be a jet broker. I really want to make some good money. Well, you have the opportunity to do that. Start out with 60-40 when you're learning. As you learn and build and grow, you're going to make more money and a bigger split. Fantastic. Well, what if you want more? What if you want more, but you also don't want to give up the resources and the framework and the community that we have at JetLife Arrow? Well, there's a way for you to continue to create wealth by sharing what you know with others. So by now you're probably asking, okay, how much does this all cost? What's the buy-in? Well, we have an initial training of $1,999. That includes the Aircraft Broker Academy Accelerator course, which is a $799 value, and a 2.5-day Jet Broker Bootcamp, a $2,000 value. Now, the Aircraft Broker Academy is a fantastic resource that you may already be familiar with, whereby it's an online course of over 100 courses, 100 videos, helping you become a aviation professional, specifically an aircraft broker. And what it does is it serves as a background education for those who don't have a background in aviation, like I didn't. I was a youth pastor. I didn't know what an aileron from an elevator, from a yoke. I just didn't know. But Alex at Aircraft Broker Academy goes through all of that. And so with the initial training, it includes the accelerator course so that you will have a background. So you have one place to go. If you need to learn about how an engine works, or what's the difference between avionics, or you want to understand what different documents mean, an LOI from an APA, from an OTP, from an acceptance, what escrow is, etc., you'll have the back end of Aircraft Broker Academy to fall back on. But you're also going to have a 2.5-day Jet Broker Bootcamp with me. That can be in person or that can be remote. And I will tell you, the students that have gone through the boot camp say after 2.5 days, they feel prepared and ready to start their jet broker journey right away. They're ready to make calls. So we're not just giving you knowledge, like an Aircraft Broker Academy, you'll have the knowledge base of aviation, but I'm giving you the practical skills so you can actually get started after 2.5 days of working with me. But not just that, we also are going to have ongoing support. So for $150 a month, it's included you're going to get access to the JetNet database, which is what we use. You're also going to have unlimited access to controller.com and data plane listings. So once you get a listing, it can cost a broker $400 to $1,200 a month just to put an ad online on Controller, which is the world's largest marketplace for used aircraft sales. Well, with JetLife Arrow, you have an opportunity to be listed on Controller under JetLife. Same with Trade-A-Plane. You're also going to get access to the back office software that we use, the templates that we use, the automations that we have set up, so you don't have to figure it out on your own. And I will tell you, it's very cool what we do with technology to make sure we stand apart and give the best customer service possible. And of course, ongoing training and support, which I will go over a little bit in just a moment. But if you're ready to go, and there's still more I want to share with you, I'm very excited. But if you're ready to go, you can go to go.theultimatejetguide.com/get started. And if you use the code JLAYT, that's JLAYT for YouTube, you'll get $9.99 off the initial training. So for $1,000, you can get started as a jet broker today. So go to go.theultimatejetguide.com/getting started. But let's talk about, well, okay, Tom, you'd say there's a 2.5-day boot camp. Well, what does that actually include? What am I going to learn in the boot camp? And by the way, when you sign up, we'll send you the links to the boot camp right away. So you don't even have to wait to schedule a time to do it in person. You can learn the data in remotely, and then spend 2.5 days with me answering all your questions so that I know you are ready to go once we're finished. So the bootcamp overview is going to be 4 sessions. Session 1 is going to be understanding systems and processes, just kind of getting you set up, getting your office set up. Session 2 is going to be understanding who our client is and what problems we solve for them. Session 3 is going to be learning the market, learning how to value an aircraft, learning the exact way to speak about an aircraft, learning your sales scripts and frameworks. And then session 4, we're going to start to go from amateur to professional by getting ninja on how we're speaking with owners, demonstrating our proposal, and get you into live phone calls. So like I said, session 1 specifically is going to be a software overview. How do we use Notion so you have access to all the scripts and all the videos that you're going to need moving forward and all the documents? How do you use Text Expander to use snippets? How do you set up active campaigns so you have automations that go out when somebody clicks on your links? All of the systems and processes that we have in place, we go over them in session number 1. And really importantly, in session number 1, we also talk about our mission and our core values, which I'm going to get to at the end of this presentation, because I think it's really important that people understand why we do this. What is JetLife really all about? And I'm excited to share that for you at the end of the presentation. Session 2, we go through understanding owners. Why do people own a plane? Why do people sell their plane? How do you sell a plane? We go through buyers. Why do people buy planes? There's 4 types of buyers in private aviation. So what are they? It could be owner operators. It could be business people. It could be investors. It could be a charter operator. How are those people different, and how do you pitch to them differently? And we go through overall sales process. How do you get a listing? What are the steps? How do you sell a listing? What are the steps? What are the 10 major milestones that you need to hit from day 1 all the way till it's time to collect that commission check? Session 3, we learn about our market. So how do you value an aircraft? And, it's not like there are resources out there that will just say, okay, this plane is worth this, like a VREF or an Aircraft Blue Book. But we want to be professionals with our fingers on the pulse of the market. So how can you go into the market and learn about it? And then we're going to introduce the sales scripts and the framework for selling jets. What are the 4 aspects of a conversation that you're going to have, the 4 components that you need to nail each one of those components in order to have a successful sales call? And then we're talking about how to overcome common objections. I'm busy, I'm not interested, et cetera, et cetera. And you may already have some of that knowledge, if you're into sales, but how do we apply that to private aviation? Session 4, we talk about fact finding, asking hard questions. This is primarily going to be for buyers, qualifying our buyers so that we know they're ready to go and putting them in the right vehicle. We're also going to talk about demonstrating your proposal. And one of the things I forgot to mention, some of the documents that we have are our brochures, our spec sheets. We have a whole template set in Canva that you can make your own. And then finally, we get you into the live calls. So the bootcamp overview, like I said, 4 sessions. Once you sign up, you'll get an email directing you to the videos where you can get started right away, but you're still going to spend 2.5 days with me going over some of this stuff. Maybe we'll go over a little bit quicker if you've already done it. And we want to make sure that you're ready, set to go. I also talked about ongoing resources. So you have you've got the bootcamp. And that's going to happen, but you're going to pay $150 a month for ongoing resources. So what are the resources that we're going to provide? Well, we've got documents. That's everything from listing and acquisition agreements, letters of intent, purchase agreements, spec sheet, brochure templates in Tampa, and Canva, like I alluded to, and of course, the Ultimate Jet Guide. The Ultimate Jet Guide is one of the best lead magnet sources that we have because it allows you to send and attract buyers, and it's already there for you. So you're basically going to white label it and off you go. We also have marketing resources for you. Like I said, we're going to get access to controller.com, Trade a Plane. We have the GLADA network, which is the Global Licensed Aircraft Dealer Association, and the JetLife Aero email list, so that you're not just starting out on your own with like 2 people to email. We're going to build something together. And then let's talk about technology. We've got Active Campaign, which is our main CRM. You don't have to use it, but we do have email and automation templates for you. We have a whole snippet bank from TextExpander to help you streamline your workflow. And of course, you have access to the JetLife team via Slack anytime. We're here to help you. But not just resources. So not only are you going to get the boot camp, we're going to have everything you're going to need to know. You're not only going to have resources that are there for you, but we're going to have ongoing training. And this is going to be weekly, regular training that we're going to go over these 4 quadrants of knowledge for aircraft sales. Industry knowledge. How do we go? We're going to go over various makes and models. So what makes a Phenom 100 different from a Citation M2, different from a CJ3? Like we have to understand a market, and then we have to understand the comparables around that market. How do they relate to each other? We're going to talk about common maintenance items and costs. We're going to dive deep. What is a phase 1 through 5 on a legacy Citation? What is a C check on a Falcon? So that you can understand what's going on, and as well as costs, understand the cost. So we're not going to just leave you hanging. These are going to be ongoing topics that will be pre-recording. You'll have access to the entire library of all this. Understanding contracts and agreements, talking like a pilot, avionics, performance, and beyond. So when you're talking to someone, how do you speak intelligently? For years, when I was speaking to people on the phone, you say, "Oh, it sounds like you know a lot. You must be a pilot." No, I don't. Like, I'm not a pilot. And it took me a couple of years after people saying that I finally did get my private pilot license. But you can speak intelligently like a pilot, and we kind of go into how to do that. We have ongoing sales training, the 10,000 rule for success, understanding your numbers. And I'm going to tell you the rule right now. It's going to take you 10,000 phone calls before you make a sale. How quickly you make those contacts and those phone calls, that's up to you. But understanding the numbers in aviation, we're going to go over that. Perfecting your pitch, so that when you're calling someone, you're not just like, "Hi, Mr. Smith, how are you today? How's the weather?" Nobody cares. Okay, what is your pitch? "Hello, Bob, Tom with JetLife Aero. Good morning." And off we go. Overcome the objections, like I mentioned before, and then how do you present using features, advantages, and benefits? We're going to go over marketing training, how to help your personal branding. Just design your logo, find your image, find your inner brand. We have those conversations with you because I want you to brand yourself. And we're going to go over digital marketing best practices, branding, as mentioned before, content creation and content distribution. How do you batch content? What are best practices for coming up with thumbnails, titles, descriptions for YouTube? What's the best platform for you to be on? These are all things that we want to consider. And last but not least, we have technology. I want to walk you through how to use the technology that we have, Active Campaign, TextExpander, Notion, so that you can find success. You're not going to be left alone. The whole goal is for you to feel like you are being supported in your journey. And if you want to be a full-blown, JetLife agent and just do JetLife, and that's great, not a problem. You can leverage all the stuff that we're doing for JetLife. But if you have a part of you that wants to branch off and establish your own brand, we're okay with that. We want to see that succeed. Or maybe you're a realtor or a yacht broker or a mechanic or a pilot. You already have a brand and you want to start to add sales and acquisitions, private jet sales and acquisitions to your portfolio of services that you offer. This could be an option. I want you to picture a day when somebody asks you, "What do you do for a living?" And you get to say, "I sell private jets." Picture a day where you have total time and financial freedom, because now time is under your control. And when your kids say, "Hey, can we go on vacation this year?" you actually get to say yes. Picture a day where you have the opportunity to achieve your personal and professional goals and help others do the same. And what I mean by that is you're going to help the buyers and the sellers, achieve their personal and professional goals. But you can also help a team if you want to build a team. If you have a heart of a servant to help others find success, that's also a day that you can picture. I'll leave you with this. When I left my brokerage, I had to ask myself, what was my new mission and passion? I had gotten rich, and now I wanted to help others find financial success. But I also wanted to create a framework that would lead others to become better people, not just better salesmen, to become wealthy and not just get rich, and to live their life to the fullest and not just be alive. JetLife Arrow is a movement that was born out of all these desires, and that is our mission, and these are our values. We are an agent-focused, cloud-based brokerage designed to raise the bar across the private aviation industry through professionalism, character building, and wealth creation. Our values are positivity, resilience, education, transparency, honesty, and humility. This is just an invitation. It's just the beginning. If you accept it, there's a lot of hard work on the horizon, but I can tell you, on the other side, you will understand what it means to live that jet life to the fullest.